Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Property Management 101, and today we'll be discussing best practices for things to include in your move-in packets. If you've already done so, please watch my disclosure video as well as my why I do this video. And if you found this video helpful and learned something new, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. What I'm referring to as move-in packets, for those of you that do not know, is typically once someone is approved or they are moving in and receiving their keys, or once they've executed their lease contract, they receive something called a move-in packet. This can be a physical packet of paper, or it can be electronically done, or both. It's just about general information about the site. This will usually be given to any future residents that are either moving in that day or in the near future. I've seen companies that have given these move-in packets once an application is approved, or once they've executed a lease, or once they make their first payment, or actually on their move-in day. But most companies I've worked with or worked for have some sort of move-in packet as part of their process. This video will be best for anyone on the residential side of the industry. Now to the 3 best practices for things to include in your move-in packets. Number 1, include utility information, cable information, internet information. If you don't provide it, they're going to ask about it. And you want to make sure prior to the resident moving in, all these things are set up, or any steps they need to do or complete are done prior to moving in. That is a great way to have a resident upset and get a bad first impression if you don't allow them to have internet right away or utility right away. So please make sure if there's anything needed from them that they are aware of who to contact or what steps to take to ensure as their first day when they move in, these things are set up. If there are things that are included as part of their stay and part of their rent, or if it's something you guys pay for as the landlord that is fronted for the resident, make sure you include that information as well, and if there's any steps needed. For the local companies that provide those utility services, make sure you provide the names of those and their contact information, even if it is just a website. Now, the second best practice for things to include in your move-in packets, payment information. Really make sure it's clearly outlined when payments are due, what kind of payment options residents have, when is the first payment due, what is the penalty if a payment is not made, what is the grace period if you offer one, and what are all the options and different forms they can pay. Does it have to be a physical check? Could it be a money order? Can it be directly online? So make sure you're listing all the different options. And the last best practice for things to include in your move-in packets, make sure you clearly outline all the different forms of contact information you have for your office staff. Residents are going to come up with questions that you may not think about or are outside of your move-in packet, and regardless of how much time and effort you put into your move-in packet and all the things you include in it, residents are still going to have questions. So making sure that you're including your contact information is a really good step to ensure that if they do have an issue or something comes up, they can easily get a hold of the appropriate person. I would make sure you're including email addresses, phone numbers, text message services if you have it, or a chat service if you have it, the office or property website, and anything else that you offer and provide to your residents to provide support. And you also want to make sure you're including after hours or on-call information for emergency purposes as well as part of this. This is something that's going to be really important because if an emergency does come up, that they have the appropriate people and the appropriate ways to get a hold of someone. If you do have any questions about this video or any of my videos, feel free to comment below and I'll be happy to address it for you. And I hope you found this video helpful and learned something new. If you did, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. Happy leasing.